You good girl. Hi, hopefully everybody's having a good day. Today I want to go over how to trim your dog's nails. It's a little bit different between dogs and cats, and you're actually supposed to do bearded dragons and birds too. But with our dogs, we can use things like Dremels. Sometimes those work a little bit better because they're not as scary. They don't make the clip sound that the nail clippers do. No, Cortana used to not be so good with this, but she is way better now. I will say I'm not anticipating being able to remove much from her front nails just because she does like to dig. That is another option if your dog doesn't like their feet handled, is you can get, I think they're called scratch pads, and they basically have that nail file surface, and the dog has to either scratch to get the treat out or you train them to use that flat surface to do their nails. I have seen some videos on YouTube on how to train their hind feet to do that too. But for this purpose, we're gonna go ahead and do Cortana's nails. Now I do want you to take a closer look, so bear with me for a second, but I'm gonna pull my tripod forward. Cortana, stay. Good girl. And she's got fluffy feet. Sometimes we do go ahead and trim the hair on their feet too, just to prevent them from really losing that traction. As you can kind of see right there, she does have quite a bit of hair there, so she can't really get that grip from that paw pad. But if you look, and honestly, like I said, her nails are pretty short due to her digging, but you should be able to kind of see a little bit of a quick with those white nails. It's a little bit easier. If she'll let me kind of show you this one in particular. Let me see the other foot. I know it's super weird, huh? Oh, and this is her black one. So typically after that hook right here, that can be taken off. This one is a better example. You can kind of see the hook there at the tip. I know I can take that. If I look at the bottom of the nail, you should be able to see where it comes up, and I will go ahead at the end and do close-ups so that you can see a little bit better. I will do it probably on her hind feet because I know that those are going to be longer because she doesn't dig with those as much. So if I take the nail clippers, technically a lot of them will have a shield, and that's just so you don't clip too much off. There are some really fancy ones out there. But with these, I go ahead and go right to where I think the quick might be, and go a little bit further out so that I'm not gonna hit the quick because it'll bleed a lot and then you lose a lot of trust from them. But I'll go ahead and clip that, and then I will shave off little pieces getting closer until I see what a lot of people call the stop sign. And if I can get it to focus in, you see how there's a little black dot in the center? That would be a good sign to go ahead and stop trimming. And this one's gonna be much, yep. I think I got her on that one. Can I see it? Come here. Let me see it. Oh, I know. Go. I did not get her, but I'm close. And since I know I'm close, I'm gonna go ahead and stop on that one. And I will probably not do the other one too next to it because it's pretty close. With the last one on that foot, it is also really close. So I'm gonna go back to her dew claws. Now, a lot of people do like to get the dew claws removed on their dogs. I don't recommend that just because, and you can find, I think there's a video that's like golden retriever or Labrador retriever in water. And it looks at dew claws versus no dew claws. And what I've heard from that, and what I've heard from some mentors who worked more with military working dogs, a lot of times they do use those more for traction, so that if they are trying to run faster or going through uncertain terrain, they can use those dew claws to pop themselves out. The caveat would be if we have dew claws that don't actually have a working joint, if they're detached dew claws, and they're just held on by a piece of skin, those don't really do anything, and those may be removed. The big thing with those is, wait, you're gonna lay down? Yeah, I know. I'm super rude, and now you're expecting me to do something because I got close on that one. But as I was saying, those are just held up by skin. You can have those removed. With any removal of a dew claw, you are looking at more issues as far as that piece of skin and healing, because that is closer to the ground. And if you're not very careful with that incision, it can get infected. Okay, so these are hind nails on Cortana. They are much longer. As you can kind of see, there is a little
a little pink outline that goes to this point, so I would remove right there. This is a black nail. A lot of times if I have a white nail near it, I will take about the same amount off because they should be about the same as far as quicks. Otherwise, I'll kind of shave off piece by piece until I get close enough that I see that stop sign. I'm going to go ahead and hit pause and then show you more what I would expect after I'm done. So this is what I was talking about with the stop sign. You can see right there, there's a little stop, a little black spot in the middle of the nail. I don't like to go further than that because that would be the edge of the quick and you're going to start losing trust from your dog.